Hello. Thanks for reading along with me. We are now in Genesis chapter 39, and I'm reading from the New King James Version. You can follow along with me with your Bible, or you can put it on in the background. I also want to remind people that a couple things. I hate doing this. Gosh, I hate doing this. But it is helping the channel if you subscribe to the channel. It also can help other people if you happen to be watching my videos and you hear something that you think might be helpful to somebody else, to share it with them. And then, of course, it helps the channel as well if you hit the like button. And I'm always receptive to comments, okay? So if you have comments or questions, please don't hesitate to put that down below. So we're going to carry on in chapter 39 in Genesis. Now Joseph had been taken down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him from the Ishmaelites who had taken him down there. Remember, Joseph's brothers had put him in a pit, and then they sold him to the Ishmaelites. So the Ishmaelites took Joseph to Egypt, and now they've sold him to Potiphar. And the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a successful man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. And his new master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand. So Joseph found favor in his sight and served him. Then he made him overseer of his house, and all that he had he put under his authority. So it was from the time that he had made him an overseer of the house and all that he had, that the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake. And the blessing of the Lord was on all that he had in the house and the field. Thus he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, for he did not know what he had except for the bread which he ate. Now Joseph was handsome in form and appearance, and it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast longing eyes on Joseph, and she said, "Lie with me." And I just want to point something out here. You know, she's not a good girl. Okay, she's a bad girl. But there's also something here. You know, she had longings in her heart. She had lustful feelings too. We put a lot of pressure on men about lust in their heart. But women have it too, and I think we need to acknowledge that it's not just men, but women have it too, and we need to be honest and open about that sexual sin happens with both sexes, okay? And it happens with everybody. There's nobody who's exempt from sexual sin. I'm just going to put it that way. But anyway, so she asked him to lie with me. But he refused and said to his master's wife, "Look, my master does not know what is with me. My master does not know what is with me in the house, and he has committed all that he has to my hand. There is no greater in this house than I, nor has he kept back anything from me but you, because you are his wife. How can I do this great wickedness and sin against God?" Okay, so he's saying double-fold here. I mean, he said that his master, referring to Potiphar, has trusted him with everything, and he has access to everything except for Potiphar's wife, which is reasonable. It's actually very trusting. Okay, he's trusting him with everything except for the wife. And then he ultimately says, "How can I sin against God?" And so it was as she spoke to Joseph day by day that he did not heed her to lie with her or to be with her. So he was trying to stay away from her, even so that there was no suspicion, because God knows, well, we'll find out in a minute. But you know, he did everything he could to avoid even the appearance of evil. And I've had men treat me like this as well. Not that I was trying to seduce them, but I took it as a form of protection, where there were moments when I was alone in my house and they refused to come in. They stayed outside to speak with me, or to do whatever kind of business, or to help me. As a matter of fact, and there were several men that did this, and I think it's very wise, not just for their own protection, but for my protection as well, because nobody could say that either one of us did anything dishonorable Okay, so I'm just saying that. And I know a lot of people get upset about that, but I don't really care, because the people in my life that have to trust me can trust me, and the people in their lives, because they had wives and girlfriends and so on and so forth over time, they had nothing to worry about either, because neither one of us did anything wrong. And not only that, but particularly one man was actually from the church. It wasn't just a friend in the community. He was actually from the church that I came from. And because he was actually the first person, and that's what he explained to me, but there was no way that anybody could spread gossip, whether it was true or not. Nobody could say anything that was not true or start suspicious talk, because there was no proof. There was actually proof to the contrary. Anyway, so he did everything he could to try to, to be alone with her. But it had happened about this time, when Joseph went in the house to do his work, and none of the men in the house were inside, that she caught him by his garment, saying, "Lie with me." But he left his garment in her hands and fled and ran outside. And so it was, when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and fled outside, that she called to the men of her house and spoke to them, saying, "See, he has brought us in this," wait a minute. "See, he has brought into us a Hebrew to mock us. He came in to lie with me, and I cried out with a loud voice. And it happened, when he heard that I lifted my voice and cried out, that he left his garment with me and fled and went outside." Now, this was not nice. This was a bad thing that she did. And women are still doing it today. And it's just as bad as if they had been assaulted and treated wrong. Okay? Two wrongs do not make a right. This is just as horrible. You can destroy somebody's life by telling a lie like this. And as it was, we'll find out, Joseph did not have an easy time after this. So she kept his garment with her until her master came home, and then she spoke to him with words like these, saying, "The Hebrew servant whom you brought to us came in to me to mock me. So it happened, as I lifted my voice and cried out, that he left his garment with me and fled outside." So it was, when his master heard the words which his wife spoke to him, saying, "Your servant did to me after this manner," that his anger was aroused. Then Joseph's master took him and put him in the prison, a place where the king's prisoners were confined. And he was there in the prison. But the Lord, see what I'm saying? Bad. Okay? This was not good. I mean, Joseph was exactly where the Lord wanted him to be, but it was not there because somebody was being good. And it certainly wasn't there. He was innocent. He did not do the thing that Potiphar's wife said that he had done. Okay, so, and he was there in the prison, but the Lord was with Joseph and showed him mercy and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. And the keeper of the prison committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners who were in the prison. Whatever they did there, it was his doing. And the keeper of the prison did not look into anything that was under Joseph's authority, because the Lord was with him. And whatever he did, the Lord made it prosper. So here's the thing. Joseph, ever since he got sold into slavery, everything that he has done, he's done for the Lord. That was his first thing. And the Lord blessed him no matter where he was, whether he was in prison or whether he was a slave. The Lord prospered him, and he was given positions of authority. And this is something that we should think about in our daily lives as we go through it. When we go to work, are we doing things unto the Lord, or are we just schlepping our way through the day just to get a paycheck? We need to think about this, because the Lord is going to expect certain things from you if you claim to be a Christian, as far as your work ethic and the way that you carry yourself. Okay. And he will bless that and cause it to, I need to be careful what I say here, because I do not believe in prosperity gospel, but he will bless you in the ways that he sees fit for you. And let me just make it very, very clear that if you are somebody who is in a less than fortunate financial situation, I'll put it that way. Like, you notice I'm here in my car. I don't have a studio or fancy things to do these videos, but I still feel like the Lord needs me. Okay, but the Lord is still blessing me. It doesn't necessarily mean with money. Okay, is what I'm saying. The Lord will bless you in ways that you need to be blessed, but you need to do it unto the Lord, and the Lord will bless you in his way as he sees fit for you. Okay, more so that way, because Joseph did not necessarily get money, but he was given authority and responsibilities because of the way that he worked for pagans, non-believers, but he believed. And that's the whole point of this chapter. Anyway, I'm going to let this go like that, but we're going to do chapter 40 next, about the prisoner's dreams.